Okay, I'm going to share in a moment the material. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the class.
Thanks, teacher. Good evening.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm good, teacher.
Okay, that's good. Welcome to the class. How are you? There's somebody else, right? Okay. The last class we work Noelia. Hello, Noelia. How are you?
Fine, teacher, are you?
I'm fine too, thanks. How about you, Noelia? Were you able to complete your activities? I had to extend because I noticed that not all the
Yes,
students were doing that. Oh, that's great. And how about you? The quiz and the activity, right?
yes, teacher.
Okay. How about you, Ernesto? Were you able to manage to complete all the tasks?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, great. Very good. Okay. Well, the last class we're working with the first part of this B4 now is visible for everyone. So, and we're going to continue with that. So basically, not yesterday, sorry, the last class on Friday, we were working with used to, right? All things related to used to. We talk about a lot of things about used to. It was also, we started with a video lesson where it was talking about the famous football player, right? Now we're going to continue with some other activities related with WH questions. Okay, you already know that, but sometimes it's important to review, to remember all of those things that are related to grammar. And basically, when we use WH words to formulate a question, it is about what, where, why, which, whose, right? But let's check out.
Hi, do you know what we're going to study today? Embedded WH questions. You're going to learn what they are.
Okay. Embedded WH questions.
An embedded question is a question that is inside another sentence.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
What you are talking about is an embedded question. We often use embedded questions to ask politely for information.
Excuse me, can you tell me where the Gower building is?
We start embedded WH questions with a question word.
I know who you want.
Can you tell me where Jackie Baker works?
Can you tell me how much this costs?
Notice that we use statement word order, not question word order, in embedded WH questions.
Where am I? I'm not sure where I am.
Notice, too, that we do not use do, does, or did in the embedded question.
Who do you want? I know who you want.
What did you find out? Can you tell me what you found out?
We can have an embedded question inside a statement or inside another question. When the embedded question is inside a statement, we put a period at the end of the sentence.
I know what you want.
When the embedded question is inside a question, we put a question mark at the end of the sentence.
Can you tell me what you want?
Okay. As you can notice, embedded questions are usually in the middle, right? But sometimes we use with the past participle of the verb, not like the normal questions, but there are normal questions, but sometimes we use with more arguments, and embedded questions basically are, or WH questions in general, we use with different statements, right? So as you can remember, generally we use with embedded questions in conversations, and there we can use that, right? So this is okay. Now let me share, please, my presentation. My computer is kind of slow, but I don't know if you have any other. Did you know right, the embedded questions? Do you have any idea about that? Just a moment. Do you know? Did you know about the embedded questions in English?
No, no, teacher. I
Okay.
didn't learn that part.
But embedded in this case, questions are about, well, usually we use in the middle of the questions, right? So, but let me open, please. I don't know what's going on with this, but I think I'm going to be able to open that as soon as possible. Yes, this is. Yeah. I think it's Roger. Okay. But in order to know, also to remember about or to talk about embedded questions, we have to be sure about the position, right? The noun clauses. Usually we say that. Okay. Let me share, please. Now I was managing to open this. Now I'm ready. Okay, just a moment, please. Can you see?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay. First of all, we're gonna learn a little bit about noun clauses. Okay, subject, object, and complements. Then, of course, we're gonna check out about the inverted question, WH questions. But first of all, we have to know what are the question order that's important in English. That's why we're gonna talk about the noun clauses, subjects, objects, and complements. This is one question. Can you tell me if there are any tables next to a window? For example, that one is question, but we are not using WH one, right? But okay, there we go. Here's. This is a question, should we leave a tip? And just a common question. Start, please. Can you read this story in Ernesto?
I wonder whether or not we should leave a tip for the waiter.
Please, Roger.
I don't know. We should leave a tip for the waiter. He was terrible.
Okay, thank you. Over here, you can notice something. I want, you know, what is the meaning of weather, right? This one.
It's yes.
C, right? Okay,
Yes.
yes or no? Yes, very good. Sometimes, if you don't want to use weather, we can use only if, right? I wonder if, but when we say whether or not, it's important, of course, we have to use whether. So, but sometimes it is similar, like using if. We should leave a tip. For example, yeah, in this second part, I don't know why over here this is an inverted question, because this is in the middle, right? I'm not starting, and also I'm not using a question mark, or they are not using a question mark. I don't know why we should leave a tip for the waiter. He was terrible, right? Not necessarily the question mark, but we are using these WH ones in the middle of this. But we're gonna see furthermore. What about this? Please read in Noelia.
It's a miracle that we received our food at all. He was so slow.
Ernesto.
What this waiter needs is some more training.
Okay. First of all, the noun clauses. The noun clauses are dependent clauses that perform the sound. Okay, in this case, nouns do. Noun clauses begin with that, okay, question words, or whether or if. Noun clauses are some like ideas, okay? For example, here, can you explain how this landed on my head? How is over here, right? And this must be the noun clause. This landed on my head, or I'm not sure whether, right? Then this is the noun clause. So it's like kind of an idea, right? That starts. But usually this is like an embedded question, but not really. First of all, we're going to try to understand what is a noun clause. So, but we have to know that that starts from that, or some question words, or whether, or if, or in this case with how. Okay, so it's clear. Can you read this one, please, Roger?
It's clear that I won't get a tip tonight.
Mhm. I won't get a tip tonight because he's not a good waiter, right? They said he's very slow and he. How? Come on. um. So also this is the noun clause, right? It's a dependent clause right from here. Oh, but I have a pen. Sorry. This is a, for example, right? The fun that starts, but it depends from it's clear from this idea. But here we have I won't get a tip tonight, right? That item. So it's a kind of one idea, right? That starts with whether, can, or with the WH1. So also noun clauses can be subjects, right? Objects, subject complements, or adjective complements. How come? Uh, okay, for example, here also, right? In this case, it's a kind of subject. Let's start. Let's read this one, please, Noelia.
Okay, subject. What's painful is the hot coffee.
Mhm. And the next one, please, Ernesto.
I don't understand why she doesn't hang up.
Yes. Over here, she's making a phone call and she doesn't want to hang up the phone, right? She's still in call. But the subject here is this, right? It's a kind of non clause. If we check out about the last one, the noun clause is after this, whether, how, that, right? But here is over here. Also the same, but in this case, sometimes can be a subject, right? I don't understand why she doesn't hang up. So this is an object, sorry. What is a subject? Usually the one that gives the action, right? And what is the object? Is the one that usually receives the action. El objeto es el que recibe la acción y el que hace la acción, ¿no? Is a subject. So sometimes we, especially when we talk about subject pronouns and object pronouns. But over here, no, sorry, direct objects and indirect objects, right? But later we're gonna try to understand that one. But this one, please, Roger.
The question is whether she's going to stop.
Mhm. The question is whether she's going to stop. This is a subject complement. And it's frustrating that she's not paying attention. Okay. In this case, adjective complement. So it depends over here. These noun clause positions can be not at the beginning because usually in general, in English, we used to say, what's your name, for example, right? What's your name is just, we say WH questions, right? It's a normal one. But over here, when we say what's your name, also is this kind of, but it's a question, right? It's a kind of WH question. But over here, not necessarily in a noun clause, we don't need to use, right? Even I'm using here what, why, right? I don't necessarily use the question mark, but it is still an embedded question in English. But later we're gonna check out about that also. So now we are checking the position only. Okay. the subject, object, subject complement, and adjective complement. The noun clauses can be like that. So also we have noun clauses with that. We use the word that to introduce certain noun clauses. I can say, I thought that it was very interesting or something like that, but that's another noun clause also that introduces a certain noun clause, right? That. So sometimes even that is considered a connector when we talk about writing. That is a grammatical word that simply introduces a clause. What is a clause? A clause is like an idea. Sometimes not a sentence, but it's an idea. It's a part of a sentence. Clause es como una idea, ¿no? Es como no necesariamente una oración, pero es una idea. Okay, one sentence sometimes can be formed by two clauses. Una oración puede estar formada por dos ideas, or by only one clause. So it has no clear meaning. For example, I think that I'll need to reorder, because it's burning, right? But over here, sometimes it's not necessary, right? I think I'll need to reorder, sorry. Sometimes we don't need this that introduces a clause, but this is la idea, no? This is a clause. But I think is another clause, right? But this is the main clause. Esta es la idea principal en esta oración. Es una sola oración con dos ideas, ¿no? Algo así. But that can be omitted when it introduces an object noun, or an object noun clause or a complement noun clause. Okay, it's not always important to write that to connect one clause to another one, right? This is one idea to another idea. So why? Because over here we have an object noun. Please, can you read this, Noelia?
That these prices are so high, it's outrageous.
When that introduces a subject noun clause, this is a subject noun clause, right? These prices are so high. Okay, it is never omitted, so we have to use, right? That these prices are so high. It can't be omitted if it's introduces a subject noun clause, or if I can say, if we start with that, we're gonna use it because we are talking about a certain clause, right? Is to introduce a clause. So this one, for example, my boss told me that, okay, or what I need right now is. So use the clause introducers to make sentences with noun clauses to explain the picture. You can use like this, for example, my boss told me that I should be more careful. Sometimes we don't need to use that, but I'm introducing one. There is introduced the clause, right? So what I need right now is a break. That is just an example. So how about this? The only thing you have to complement over here. Can you try that, guys? What is funny is, if you want, you can use that. Okay. Whatever, you have to formulate from here. This is the clause introducer, right? You can use this to any example. It depends, it's up to you. How can you do that? Please think about that, and you can do any sentence, whatever. Just give me a couple of seconds, please. Here we go. The weather is so cold here. Okay. Please, guys, how can you do that? Somebody, please.
I have one sentence here. I don't know if
Yes.
it's right.
Don't worry.
Okay. What's funny is that nobody believes in me.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. What's funny is, are you using that?
Yes, that nobody believes in me.
It's okay. Nobody believes, right? Yeah, the idea is that we are introducing a sentence, right? Or clause introducer. For example, what's funny is that nobody believes in me is the clause, right? Or the idea. It's just fine. So you are introducing only just one idea. How about the other students?
Maybe it can be what's funny is he'll be fired.
What's funny?
Is he will be fired.
He will be fired. Yes. The only thing we are doing is to introduce a sentence, right? Or introduce a clause. But try to explain the picture. He will be fired. Ah, yes, yes, very good, right? Maybe in this case, talking about the picture, what's funny is that nobody believes in him, probably, right? Or maybe he can also say in me. Okay. But about this picture, somebody else or some other sentence, please. It appears that you can talk about this guy, right? He's nervous, or he will throw away all the food. That he was about to fall down is very clear, right? Something like that. I don't know. That picture, uh, that picture is very interesting because I don't know, whatever, right? One sentence, please, Roger. Anyone. You have to formulate a sentence about this guy.
I don't know, teacher.
Any sentence, cualquier oración que comience, que hable de él, ¿no?
What's funny is...
Oh, sorry.
What's funny is that we don't cook. Is correct?
What's funny is that
we don't cook.
Okay, yeah.
Is
If we
correct?
talk, yes,
Or
of
no?
course. Yeah, because this can introduce any idea, right? Maybe you want to say that according to this context, maybe it's not correct, but the sentence is okay. You don't cook. Maybe any other person cook, right? But it's okay. The idea is that you are introducing, solo estamos introduciendo una idea, ¿no? Una idea X. Simplemente eso, okay? Well, but there is not strictly to use number one or number whatever, right? I noticed that he's about to fall, but that is only introducing a sentence, right? Or a clause, una idea.
Teacher,
Yes.
I have one question. It's okay if I say it appears that will be rainy tomorrow?
No, it appears that. What did you say?
That will rainy tomorrow.
It appears that it will be, I think, right? It will be rainy tomorrow. Yeah, it appears that it will be. We can use that also. In this case, that also introduce a sentence. But yeah, definitely, if we talk about this guy, the sentence is completely different. But you asked me just one question. Anyone, right? You said that it appears that it will be rainy tomorrow. Yes, it's okay. We can use with future, with whatever, with any sentence. That's why sometimes it's not necessary to use strictly that. We can omit, right? It appears, in this case, it will be rainy tomorrow, right? We can use that. But now in order to understand the embedded question, this is one way of using embedded questions. A question that is changed to a noun clause is called an embedded question, right? Not exactly a question that is changed the position in a sentence, right? That can be a better explanation. It's called the embedded question, right? A question that is changed to a noun clause, not exactly a question like this. This is a genuine question with a question mark, but we can change all this in the position of this sentence of this question. So we use a statement word order in embedded questions, not question word order. Okay. Statement word order. Entonces utilizamos lo que más nos interesa es la idea, ¿no? De qué se trata. Y no nos vamos a enfocar mucho en el orden de una pregunta. Question word order, ¿no? For example, in question word order, we start with what, right? Auxiliary verb, the subject, right? Subject plus complement, something like that. But in this case, this is the statement order, right? What do you want to order? I'm not sure what I want to order. For example, I change the position only, right? What want to order is there, right? Want to order is the statement order. Ese es el orden de las ideas simplemente, ¿no? I want to order. I'm not sure what I want to order. I'm not asking, but I'm using this embedded question, right? I'm not sure what I want to order. So I'm only changing the position. Estoy cambiando solamente la posición, pero me voy a basar, lo más importante para mí va a ser the statement, word order, esto simplemente, ¿no? La idea. Me voy a enfocar en ello, no tanto en la pregunta. So, Okay, over here, ended questions we have here are more polite than direct questions, right? A direct question is, are there any tables next to a window, right? This is a direct question, una pregunta como cualquiera, ¿no? Una pregunta directa, right? But this is an ended question, right? Can you tell me, it's more polite, right? Can you tell me if there are any tables next to a window? So this is an ended question. Not only with WH ones, right? Not with why, which, where, who, what, but also with this kind of question. Okay. Because this is a direct question. We don't necessarily use WH or whatever, but in this case, this is also, okay, an ended question. Can you tell me if there are any tables next to a window? Right? And, oh, which one? This one. Somebody was out of the class. As I said, also this is a kind of ended question. Usually is more polite than direct questions, right? Direct question can be, can you, what can you say? For example, what time is it, right? ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? But ended question can be, can you tell me the time, right? Or can you tell me what time is it? Podrías decirme qué hora tiene, qué hora es, ¿no? Or direct question is what time is it, right? Or direct question can be, do you have anything else, right? And I'd like to know if you have anything else, something like that. Those are ended questions. But the other way of using ended questions are also can occur within a statement or within another question. Puede ir de acuerdo a la idea o se puede trabajar también con otra pregunta a la vez, ¿no? In this case, the punctuation is important. Can you read this one, please, Ernesto?
Can someone explain why there is lipstick on my glass?
Please continue, Ernesto.
I'm not sure how this fly got into my soup.
Yes, over here, this is an ended question, right? Also, we can use like this. This is starting from here. Can someone explain why there is lipstick in my glass? Or well, not makeup, right? Lipstick is okay. I'm not sure how this fly got into my soup. That is an ended question. It's not a direct question, is different, right? La idea es cuando queremos utilizar, a ver, en español, ¿no? Queremos utilizar un ended question, es tratar de ser polite, ¿no? O tratar de no hacer preguntas directas, sino preguntas indirectas. Solamente se trata de eso, los ended questions. Okay. How do you think you can use a direct question in this example, Ernesto? ¿Cómo podría ser una pregunta directa, no una ended question acá?
Yes, it will be just a question. Why there is lipstick on my glass?
Yes, right. Why there is lipstick on my glass? That's direct question. But this is an ended question.
Yes.
Right? Can someone? The idea is not to be so rude, right? Or that's the idea. Or this is a kind of a way of speaking only. Es una forma de modismo, si no podemos llamarlo. So I'm not sure how this fly got into my soup, but if you want to ask a direct question, here can be a little bit different. That can be like, but in this case, it's necessary to present, right? maybe they can say why, tal vez puede cambiar, no? Why is a fly in my soup? Come on, right? But he's not, in this case, he's not sure, so that's why it's necessary to use this embedded question. He cannot complain directly to the restaurant and say why, right? Maybe he didn't see the fly was coming there into the soup. Okay, but that's one way, right? Just an embedded question is to be polite also. But usually in embedded question, you don't use do, does, or did. That's why embedded question, we say that embedded question with W. But of course, we can use with can you, with why, with all of the WH questions, also with how, right? Here, do not use do, does, or did in embedded questions. I don't know how that did happen, right? We are introducing with how the statement or the idea is this one. How that did happen? I don't know how did it happen. No sé cómo sucedió, ¿no? It's a conversation. Because the direct question can be how that happened, right? Or how that did happen. We can say cómo ha sucedido eso. But in this case, this involves somebody else. Involucra también, le involucra a él, ¿no? So that's why he cannot say that. No sé cómo pudo haber pasado, cómo pasó. That's he's trying to be maybe polite or something like that, right? But also how that happened, right? Yes, I don't know how that happened. Ah, no, we don't have to use this one, right? Well, sorry. We don't have to use did. We do not use do, does, and did. That's why correctly, sorry, in the grammatically, this can be correct, but we have to know that this is an embedded question. That's why in conversations, we won't say, I don't know how that did happen. We're gonna say only, I don't know how that happened, right? Directly. We're gonna omit. Vamos a omitir a pesar de que podría estar correcto gramaticalmente, pero no. We won't use that. Even we're talking about the past, but if we use this with the past participle, that's an embedded question, right? For example, something similar, I can say, I don't know, right? Probably. I don't know why why that happened also, right? So we can use like this. I don't know why that happened. But also we have to check out if that is necessary here. Okay, I don't know why that happened. I don't know why happened. Not really, right? Sometimes it's important. But we cannot say, I don't know why that did happen, right? No, that happened, no. We don't have to use this. So only that. But usually we're going to use the past participle of the verb. Okay. With any verb, I can say, I don't know why that. Maybe we can use in different sentences, but the idea is that we won't be we're not gonna use this one, right? Do, does, and did. So how does she carry all those plates? I don't know. And so we can use here, right? I don't know how she carried all those plates that we can change, or she carries all those plates. But we won't use this does, right? We're not going to use this. We cannot use did or do or does, right? So we're going to omit this. Even the question, the direct question is like this. We're not going to use like that. I don't know how she carries all the plates. We won't say how does she carry, right? And change the direct questions below to ended questions. Use WH questions words and the prompts below. There are the prompts or the examples. You can use I wonder, I don't know. She asked me. You can remember that also you can use that, right? In some cases, but not all the time. So we're not sure. Can you tell me, do you know? Please, number one, can you do, Ernesto?
Sure. Can you tell me what is the soup of the day?
Very good. Yes. Number two, Noelia, can you do it? Is there Noelia?
Oh, no, I left it.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Roger, can you do number two? You can start from any of them. Puedes comenzar con cualquiera de estos.
Okay. I don't know when will the food be ready. Ready.
Yes, I don't know when the food will be. I know when the food will be ready. I think this position is important also. When the food will be ready. Okay, sometimes we change this position also. But then everything's okay.
Okay, see. When the food will be ready.
Yes. I don't know when the food will be ready. Es como hacer un comentario simplemente. How about number three?
Number
Ernesto?
three is wrong, teacher.
But
we don't use did.
Yes, but how can you use in an embedded question? You can use the same, but you don't have to use did in the embedded question.
I wonder how the chef make this.
Yes, made, right? Because we are talking about did, we don't use did, and we're gonna say made.
Ah, yes. How I wonder how the chef made this.
Yes, how the chef made this. Very good. Yes. How about the next one? Roger.
Can you tell me what was your waitress?
Can you tell me who was your waitress? Also, sometimes we use like, can you tell me who your waitress was? In embedded questions, that's possible. Or if you want to use, it's okay also. Can you tell me who was your waitress? Right, oh, sorry. Or who your waitress was also is possible to use in that way. Sorry. And the last one, Ernesto.
Yes, can you tell me where the restroom is?
Yes. Can you tell me where the restroom is? Yeah, very good. And the other embedded question, we use if and whether or not, or only whether, to introduce embedded yes/no questions. Okay, yes/no questions are, you have to explain, right? What is that about? For example, yes, no questions if and whether or not are similar in meaning and can often be used interchangeably. The meaning are similar. That's we can interchange. We can use or if, or whether or not, or only whether. Se puede utilizar cualquiera. Roger, can you read this?
Is the weather coming back? I'm not sure if the weather is coming back.
Yes, I'm not sure if the weather is coming back, or I'm not sure whether the waiter is coming back, right? Ernesto?
Could we get the bill? I wonder whether we could get the bill.
Yes. I wonder whether or not, right? Or whether we could get the bill. We are introducing yes, no question. For example, could we get the bill? The answer could be yes, right? Or I wonder if we could get the bill. Yes, sure, or yes, of course. I don't know, something like that, right? And an ended question also can be to answer or to formulate a question, a yes no question, right? We use if or whether to introduce ended questions, yes no questions. I wonder, right, in this case, ended question. This is a direct question. Could we get the bill, right? Is direct question. But using as a, this is a direct question. And if you want to use as an ended question, because we can say, could we get the bill? The answer could be yes. I'm sorry. How do you think is the answer for this direct question? Yes.
We could.
We could, right? And in this direct question, but if we want to use as ended question, we're gonna use if or whether, right? I wonder if we could get the bill. Me pregunto si podemos tener la cuenta, right? Yes, thank you. Me pregunto si podemos tener la cuenta. So that's why ended questions are usually to use to be polite, para ser más gentil, ¿no? Esto suena muy directo, ¿no? Podemos tener la cuenta. So I wonder, me pregunto si podemos tener. Maybe, okay, we try to be very polite. Or if we could have if you could get a bill, right? So if sometimes burning, I wonder if, right? Because this is yes no question. So is something burning? Yes, I guess, or yes, I think so. I don't know, but or yes, it is, right? But here, I wonder if something is burning. Me pregunto si algo se está quemando, ¿no? But he's burning the menu with the candlelight, right? So change the direct questions to ended questions. Use if, whether or not, and the prompts below. These are the prompts, right? Prompts means las ideas, ¿no? Okay. Please, guys, can you do it with this one? I wonder if you accept credit cards. Remember, we don't use do, right? So something like that. I don't know. Also, we don't use it. But formulate an ended question. I don't know. She asked me if whether or not I asked if I accept credit cards. I don't know. How about the number one? Who wants to do?
I can do number one.
Yes, please do it.
Can you tell me whether you accept credit cards?
Yes, can you tell me whether? Yes, can you tell me whether you accept? Yes, accept credit cards. Okay, very good. Or also sometimes it's a little bit strange, right? Can you tell me whether you accept credit cards? Okay. Or can you tell me if you accept credit cards, right? It's fine, any of them. How about number two? Who wants to do number two?
Mm, I wonder if the soup is spicy.
I wonder if the soup is spicy. Yes. Do you like spicy food, Roger?
No, I don't like.
Okay. When you go to Sucre, they eat spicy food, right? Even the soup, everything. Okay. How about number three? Somebody, please.
I wonder if there are any lunch specials.
Okay. I wonder whether or not is maybe, or what do you say?
I wonder
If,
there are any lunch specials.
yes, if there are any special lunch or lunch specials. Ah, yes, any lunch specials. It's okay. Lunch specials. I cannot write very well with digital things. Okay. What about number four? Noelia, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Mhm. Maybe you can do number four.
Do you know if we can look at the menu?
Yes, very good. Do you know if we can look at the menu? Yes. The menu. Oh no, it's not necessarily the question mark, right? What about the next one? Number five, please, Ernesto, can you do?
Yes, and we are not sure if the waiter include a tip in the bill.
We are not sure, yes. If the waiter included, right? Because it's past.
Yes, yes.
Included a tip. Blah blah blah. Yes. Okay. Yes, it's fine. As you can notice, embedded questions are not. First of all, we don't have to use a question mark like this. I get a mistake there. And then, secondly, we only want to be polite, or we want to use questions in a different way. Like this one that I like this one. Which was that? This one, right? Could we get the bill? I wonder whether or not we could get the bill. So trying to be more polite, and that's it. But we're gonna practice with some embedded questions meanwhile. By the way, I'm gonna send you this presentation, and if you want, you can check out later also. But let me open something that I have in mind. Okay, we need to practice with ended questions. And then with that, I think, I'm sure we will be able to understand everything much better. Okay, just a moment, please. Here we go. Okay. What do you think is there? Can you see can you hear and see the video? What do you think is what should we write there? Usually a double-edged question. Anyone, can you see the screen, guys?
Yes, teacher, do we have to formulate embedded question?
Yeah, no, in this case, just one double-edged question.
Who's the boy?
Yes, very good. Okay, in this case, it's okay if we say who or where, right? We didn't know, but in this case, it's just where. Okay. He's in the living room. Okay, but this is just a.
Hey, sweetie. Sorry I got home so late, but I had to pick something up after work.
What do you think is the answer in number 2?
Who?
Who is she?
Okay, yes. Okay.
To work. It's such a beautiful day outside. You should let some sun inside. So, that's better. Why don't you stop playing and open the present I got for you?
For me?
Hello? Oh, yes, sir. I don't know why you didn't get the papers. I put them on your desk before I left.
Okay. Whoa! Cool!
What?
Okay.
What is in the box?
Cool! Ugh. She's gotta be kidding me.
Why?
Hmm? Like hasn't got a leg, right?
Get lost!
Where?
Okay. And where's the ball? How can you say where's the ball at this moment? Under there. Oh, come on. Ah, what color? This way.
Ah,
Where?
What is there?
How?
Mom! We'll be outside!
Where do they go?
Okay.
Illuminates the past. My heart sleeps
Okay, I was looking for. I don't know where is. I was looking for embedded questions to practice, but that was only. By the way, established questions, right? But let's do one more time, please. Okay, this is non-clauses. Okay, let's continue, please, with the other part of this material. I'm sorry. I was looking for that, but I couldn't find it. And I hope it was useful, the presentation about embedded questions. But now we're going to continue with the next part of the grammar. The next one is okay, it's number one.
Hi. We have something important to talk about today. Of course, everything we talk about is important. Today's lesson is about indefinite pronouns, like something and everything. They're very common in English, and no one can really speak English without them. Let's learn more about indefinite pronouns. Is everybody ready? We use indefinite pronouns when we are talking about people and things that we don't name. Sometimes we don't know exactly which person or thing we are talking about, and sometimes we don't want to name the person or thing yet.
Someone's in big trouble.
In the example, someone means a person. We can also use somebody. The meaning is the same. We form indefinite pronouns with some, any, no, and every. We use indefinite pronouns with some in affirmative sentences.
Something happened at the office today.
Somebody brought in a tape.
We also use indefinite pronouns with some in questions when we think that the answer is yes.
Are you going to yell at somebody?
Yes.
In the example, the receptionist has a reason to think that Talia is going to yell. We also use indefinite pronouns with some when we make an offer or make a request.
Would you like something to eat?
No thanks. But could I have something to drink?
We use indefinite pronouns with any in negative statements.
There isn't anyone here by that name.
I don't know anything about soccer.
We also use indefinite pronouns with any in questions when we don't know the answer.
Is there anyone here named Jackie Baker?
Do you remember anything about the game?
We use indefinite pronouns with no when the verb is affirmative, but the meaning of the sentence is negative.
There is no one in the office at the moment.
This sentence means the same as, there isn't anyone in the office at the moment. Notice that we write no one as two words. Indefinite pronouns always take singular verbs, even when they refer to more than one person or thing.
There are 10 people in my office, and everybody loves soccer.
In formal speech and writing, we also use singular pronouns and possessive adjectives with indefinite pronouns.
Everybody on the team knows what he has to do.
Everybody knows her assignment.
When a group includes both males and females, we use he or she and his or her in formal speech and writing.
Everyone must hand in his or her test before leaving the classroom.
In conversation and informal writing, we usually use indefinite pronouns with they or their.
Everyone in our class handed in their tests before leaving the classroom.
Teacher, we can hear you.
Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Now here we go. Before we start with the indefinite pronouns, we're gonna work with conditionals, other ways to express unreality. Okay, these are also with pronouns, by the way. You can see, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So there is tired traveler. This is we're gonna work with indefinite pronouns. So this is to explain or to talk about some of the uncertainties. If I had more money, I would stay at better hotels, right? This is an unreal conditional also. Okay, can you read this, Ernesto?
Yes. I wish I could brush my teeth right now.
Okay. And Noelia, are you there? Or who's there? Yes, Noelia, please.
Yes, teacher. If only I had a final taxi.
Okay. Ernesto.
If the airport hadn't lost my luggage, I wouldn't have been delayed.
Delayed, right?
Delayed.
To be delayed is estar atrasado, ¿no? Over here we have real conditionals, are sentences that describe situations that occur regularly or are likely or possible in the future. Usually we have, in this case, when you have some, when you do something, you get the result, right? Let's read this one, please, Noelia.
If I don't put sunscreen on, I get a bad sunburn.
Yes. In present time situations, use the simple present in both classes, right? If I don't put the sunscreen, I get a bad sunburn. So cause and effect, right? If I don't do something, I'm gonna get that something will happen. So simple present and simple present. Okay, that usually we use this to describe situations that occur regularly or are likely or possible in the future. Right? If we don't get to the station on time, the train will leave without us, right? Also, we have in this case in present and this is the main clause and the result clause, if I can explain that, right? Here we have this is the if clause, right? And over here we have the result clause. But here we have simple present and here we have future, right? Okay, but usually that will happen in the future, right? If I don't do something, that will happen. So that's why sometimes if we have in past, we're gonna have in past perfect or something like that. In future time situations, use the simple present in the if clause and the future with will, right? Or be going to in the result clause. You know, this is the first, in the first part, we have the if clause and the result clause, we have will, right? Okay, or we can also use be going to in the result clause. But in the if clause, we are using simple present here, right? don't get to the station is a simple present. Will live without us is future, right? But unreal conditionals are sentences that describe situations that are untrue, right? When you say, if I would, okay, if I would be a billionaire, I could buy a land in Mars, something like that, right? Or something that, or impossible in the present or in the past, right? Read this one, please, Noelia.
If I had enough money, I will visit Paris.
She doesn't have enough money and she won't visit Paris, right? That's unreal conditional. The other one was real conditional, cause and effect, but in this case it's unreal. In present time, situations use the simple past in the if clause and would, could, or might, plus the base form of the verb in the result clause. Unreals, okay, we can use present time. We use in present time situations use simple past, right? For unreal conditionals, okay? Unreal conditionals, we use simple past in the if clause. And in the result clause, we use would, could, or might, right? So the if clause is until the comma, right? If I had enough money, I would visit Paris. So that is, okay, the example, right? This is, we are talking about, this is an unreal conditional, simple past, right? If I had, si tuviera suficiente dinero, iría a visitar París. So we use would, could, or might. That can be like also, I could go to Paris, or I I might visit Paris, any of them. But the present and real conditionals, we use the simple past in F clause. If the verb is be, use were for all persons. For example, present and real conditional. That was the first unreal conditionals in general, right? But if the verb is be, use were. If I were rich, if I were you, right? Si yo fuera usted, si yo fuera tú. Use were to all persons. Use could, might, or would plus the base form of the verb in the result clause. If I were a better planner, oh, sorry, can you read this sentence, Ernesto?
If I were a better planner, I wouldn't travel without a map.
Yes, if I were a better planner, I wouldn't travel. And then we are using would, right? It is possible to use might and could as well. But the thing is that in if clause, we have, especially when we use verb be, we use were or was. No, sorry, were, all the time were. It doesn't matter if she were, if I were, okay, that's the way that how we use. He didn't travel with a map, so he got lost. Here we have, where's my wallet? Noelia, please, can you read?
If he were more careful, he would notice that his wallet was missing.
He would notice, right? Here. Okay, we have where, right? If he were, if she were, if I were, all the time. Over here in the past and real conditionals, for past unreal and true imagined, right? Impossible conditions and their unreal results. Use the past perfect if in the if clause when the past unreal conditionals are likely impossible to happen, right? Use the past perfect in the if clause and could, might, or would plus have plus past participle in the rest clause. Sorry, read this one, please, Ernesto.
If I had looked at the map, I wouldn't have gotten lost.
This is unreal, right? Well, if I had looked, but it's not real, so I don't think there's something like this. Who knows? But if I had looked at the map, I wouldn't have gotten lost. So we are using in the if clause past perfect, and in the result clause we use past participle, right? Past participle, but in this case, could, might, or would. We can say couldn't have gotten, couldn't have done, wouldn't have said, something like that. He didn't look at a map, so he got lost. Okay. If he had been more careful. So let's read this one, please, Noelia.
If he had been more careful, he might have noticed his wallet was missing.
Yes, right. Something similar like this. If we were more careful, this is present unreal conditional, but this is the other one is past unreal conditional. There we have something else. Look at the chart and complete the conditionals with your own ideas. When we talk about real, right, simple present in the if clause and simple present, or simple present and will, right, in the real conditional. And if we talk about unreal, if plus simple past and would, could, might plus the base form of the verb. For the past unreal, if plus past perfect and past participle. In this case, would, could, might plus have plus. For example, how can you use this? Do these examples, please. If I had enough money, if I have enough money, and if I had had a lot of money. Please make those examples, complete it. Do you remember the rule? Anyone, please, you can do the sentences.
The first, if I had enough money, I might buy a sport car.
Yes, I might. If I had enough money, I might buy a new car, something like that, right? Might yes. Plus base form of the verb. Very good. How about the second one, Noelia?
If I have enough money, I will buy clothes.
Okay, good. I will buy, right? Simple present and future. Okay, how about the last one, Ernesto?
If I had had a lot of money, I would have got a restaurant?
Very good. If I had had a lot of money, I would have got a restaurant. Okay, but in this case, is just an example, right? If I had enough money, I would travel to Asia. If I had traveled to Asia, and I would have traveled to Asia. So if you talk about that, and how about this one, number one? If I visit Europe, anyone, please? If I visit Europe, you can say I go to France, maybe, or I will go to Spain, or I don't know. Right? Sorry. Um, how can you do the number two? Somebody, please.
If, if I curl myself, I might not have gotten.
Sorry, if I had, what did you say? You have to use past perfect, right?
Okay, so
If I had had or something like that. If I had, if I had traveled, no, if I had, no,
if I had curled myself, could be.
yeah, if I had cured myself.
So could be if I had curled myself, I might not have gotten sick, right?
Huh? You mean care or cured?
Can you repeat it, please?
Did you mean to be cured or to care? I don't know. At the beginning, what was your example or the verb or you were using?
Cure.
To cure. Okay. Yeah. Number three, Ernesto.
If we took an airplane, we would arrive early.
Yes. Simple past. We could arrive. Yes. Number four, Noelia. If we had made reservations.
If we had made reservation, uh, we could get lunch
Okay.
later.
We could have launched something like that. Well,
We
yeah,
could
yeah.
have lunch. I don't remember that word.
If we had made reservations, we could have traveled, or I don't know. Okay, number five, Ernesto.
If I go to Russia, I would learn Russian.
Yes, I will learn Russian. Okay, thank you. Can you complete the poll? So we're gonna stay here. Tomorrow we're gonna continue with the speaking session. But please, if you owe something in your homeworks, do it. And I'm gonna also, I need to launch the last one, right? I will do it today. work, for you to work with your homeworks.
Okay, teacher. Thanks. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Ernesto. Bye. Okay. Noelia, can you do the poll, please?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Teacher, I can see the ball.
Oh, really? Are you with your cell phone?
No, with my computer.
Now let me see one more time, please. Maybe something is... Oops. Now. Nothing?
No, teacher.
Okay, no problem. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we're gonna see each other tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Hello.
Maybe now, teacher.
Oh,
Could
yes,
be
yes.
okay.
Yes, please. I will. Now.
No, teacher, I can see anything.
Wow. Okay. Something is not good. But anyway, I will tomorrow. We're gonna continue tomorrow.
Okay, teacher. Thank you. See you.
See you. Bye-bye.